The most effective way to go from being unimpressive to an absolute gigatad everyone wants to hang out with is developing a set of hobbies that serve as entertainment but also a way of developing your skills. We've all been in this situation when you meet someone and they ask you, so what do you do? And then you answer, well, I like to play video games, I like music, and that's pretty much it. Boring! You don't want to be that guy. So today I'm going to give you 7 specific hobbies to learn this year so that you can become the most interesting version of yourself and learn valuable skills that will help you throughout your life. I like to classify hobbies in 3 different categories: hobbies for the mind, hobbies for the body, and hobbies for the soul. In other words, hobbies to make you smarter, hobbies to stay healthy and become Mr. Olympia, or at least try, and hobbies to become better at social gatherings or that will help you with interpersonal relationships. Some of these are hyper specific, but I'll explain why and how they can help you even though they're not the typical ones you hear on other lists. Before we begin, remember to subscribe and leave a like so that more people can see this and improve too. Starting with the hobbies for the body, the obvious option would be going to the gym. It is great for developing muscle and building up discipline. I mean, imagine pulling up to any social gathering and having the body of Brad Pitt from Fight Club or the body of Superman. It is also a great activity to enjoy with a friend. But what I'm actually going to recommend is doing calisthenics. For once, calisthenics is cheaper because they require little to no equipment, and there are no excuses because it can be done anywhere as long as you have your own body and the place you're at has gravity. So literally everywhere. And the reason why I'm recommending calisthenics over regular gym is that in my experience, it is the perfect balance between achieving an aesthetic body and developing immense strength. We've all seen those videos of bodybuilders against calisthenic lifters, and almost always people who train calisthenics outperform bodybuilders who look way bulkier and have spent thousands on equipment and supplements. And let's be honest, 90% of the reason we train is to look better to others, and I can guarantee you most people will prefer the body of someone who trains calisthenics over the body of a bodybuilder. But regardless of the time of lifting heavy stuff hobby you choose, it is only the foundation. This is the hobby you use to prove to yourself that you have the discipline and the consistency to achieve the goals you set. Now you will need a competitive and entertaining sport to do in your free days to show those gains. For this case, I would recommend doing either martial arts, which is great to improve mobility, but it is also going to help you develop a sense of brotherhood with the people you train, and it's going to sharpen your competitive instinct. It truly doesn't matter which one you choose as long as it is a legit one. Another recommendation would be playing tennis or any kind of racket sport. They're normally very easy to get into. Most cities offer free courts as amenities, and it is also a great sport for socializing. Even though it doesn't matter which one you practice as long as you choose one and stick to it to get better, I would personally recommend tennis simply because it is the most difficult one. But also, once you master it, it is also the one which will give you the most respect. Nobody cares about how good you are at pickleball, literal 80-year-olds play it. If you're young, you shouldn't be striving to do the easy thing because it is the popular thing to do, but the difficult thing that will lead you to getting ahead in life. Now, starting with the hobbies for the mind, the obvious reason here is reading. I know this is extremely generic, but there's a reason why the top performing people in the world read books consistently. It is literally a cheat code to life. It doesn't matter how much information you think you can get from other sources like a podcast or YouTube videos that at most will be 3 to 4 hours long. A good book will take you about 20 to 40 hours to complete, and that one book is just diving into one topic. It is by far the best way to acquire knowledge and probably the most affordable one. You can buy books for $10 to $20, but even if you don't have any money, you can walk into your public library, get a library card, and literally get access to all the books you could ever want. And despite what most people think, it doesn't have to take hours. You can just start by reading 10 to 15 minutes a day right before going to sleep. You don't even have to care about how much you read, just about having the consistency to read for those minutes every day, and before you realize it, you will have read 20 to 30 books in over the course of a year. Another hobby I'm going to recommend for the mind is programming. This is a little bit weird, but let me explain. Programming is not only one of the highest paid skills you can learn, but it can also help you with your own personal life. I know not everyone wants to become a software developer, and that is fine, but having a basic knowledge of some programming language like Python, coupled with the level of AIs we have nowadays, can supercharge you into becoming the most effective individual at your current work. You can develop tools to automate your workflow and increase your productivity exponentially. For example, let's say you're a YouTuber. You can program a tool that will help you remove all the empty spaces of your recordings, saving you hours on your editing process. Or let's say you're a business major. You can develop tools to help you find underperforming stocks automatically so that you can invest before anyone else. When it comes to hobbies for the soul, these are hobbies that will help you develop the artistic part of yourself and be more interesting in a traditional way, but also help you relax and make you great in a multifaceted way. The first I'm going to recommend is going to be playing an instrument, any instrument, but I can tell you that the piano is probably the easiest to get into. You can buy a decent keyboard and have it around for not that much and just practice it after work on your free time. It is very difficult to master it, but highly engaging, and it is great for when the moment arises, being the guy who can play the piano at a public place like an airport and places like that where there are public piano. And then for the last hobby I'm going to be recommending, it is my favorite one since I was a kid, and it is content creation. Content creation is a fully multifaceted hobby. First, you need to know how to write engaging scripts for your videos. You also need to know a lot, or at least you need to know how to do research on a lot of different topics in order to make your videos be full of value. You also need to know a little bit about graphic design in order to make good thumbnails that people would want to click on. You need to have a basic knowledge of technology in general in order to have good quality videos, whether it be knowing how to set up your camera or knowing which mic is the best. You need to know how to edit videos in an engaging way, and lastly, you need to have a basic understanding of marketing and SEO in order to make your videos go viral. These are all skills that will be of great value in your personal life as well. So out of all the hobbies that I have recommended today, if you just have to choose two, I would definitely recommend content creation on number one, just because of how many things you need to master in order to become good at it, and also calisthenics, because having control over your body will lead to having control over your mind, which is essential. If you've liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe because it helps greatly, and you can comment other hobbies you like for people to see and get inspired.